This video is going to be practice over slope and y-intercept, the word problems, and how to find them from a graph. It also goes along with worksheet 3-1.12 from our algebra curriculum. Now, first off, it says the algebra teachers did a study concerning the number of hours students study for an algebra test and the grade the student makes on the test. A student who studies 1 hour normally makes a 35. A student who studies 2 hours receives a 50, while studying 3 hours earns a 65. Write the equation that represents the situation above. Okay, well, the first thing we would want to do, we would want to go and build a table because it's giving us our information that we need to fill in. Oh, let's see, I didn't give us a whole lot of room here, but it says that if you study 1 hour, you make a 35. 2 hours, you make a 50. 3 hours, they came up that you made a 65. Okay, so now, to find the equation, the first thing we're going to do is delta y, the change in y, plus 15, plus 15, delta x, the change in x, plus 1, plus 1. Delta y over delta x, 15 over 1 is 15. Okay, so it's going to go 15, and you take it times the 1. 15 times 1 is 15. Okay, so this is 15. What do you have to add to 15 to get to 35? Plus 20. So your equation is y equals 15x plus 20. The slope is 15. The y-intercept, 0, 20. Remember, y equals mx plus b. B is the y-intercept, and m is the slope. Now it says, what does the slope mean in this situation? Well, I'm going to erase all this over here, so let me erase this. First off, I need to have, like on a table here, this is the hours, the x is the hours studying, and this is your grade. I just said this is x and this is y. Okay, what does it mean? Y per x. Y is your grade, so it's your grade per hours studied. What does the y-intercept mean in this situation? The y-intercept is 0, 20. That means that if you don't study at all, if you don't study, they predict that you will get a 20 on the test just by maybe what you learned in class. Now the next questions that we have, it says, what score would a student make if he studied for 6 hours? Okay, so you could take 15 times 6 plus 20. Well, 15 times 6 plus 20. It'd be 110. Well, it's not reasonable because tests go up to 100. Now, I mean, I could say, okay, yeah, maybe they had bonus or whatever. So, you know, it just depends on what your reasoning was. Then it said if a student made a score of an 80, determine the number of hours he studied. Now, I could go and put my equation in the calculator and look to see where y is 80. Or I have 15x plus 20 equals 80. And I would, by hand, I would subtract 20 from each side. I'd get 15x equals 60. Divide by 15. And I get x equals 4. So I bet when you go in the calculator, you'll find where x is 4, y is 80. Next one. If you haven't done this problem, I would pause this video and answer these questions. Jackie received a $50 gift card to a local movie store, rental store for her birthday. The movies in the store cost $2.50. Write the equation. Okay. Y equals, you start off with a gift card of $50. Every time you rent, you're subtracting off $2.50 for each movie. Okay, so look, so this is the number of movies. Okay, the 50, I guess we're going to talk about what that means in just a minute. But the X is the number of movies. Oh, let me go back here. The Y is going to be the balance on the card. Balance on gift card. What does the slope mean? The slope is negative 250. What is the Y-intercept? 0.50. Okay, what does the slope mean? It's Y per X. So we'll balance on the gift card, but it'd be cost per movie. Cost per movie. Well, that makes sense. It's $2.50, and it says the movies in the store rent for $2.50. The Y-intercept, this is the amount on gift card. What would the gift card balance be after Jackie rented 16 movies? Well, I could do it a couple ways. I can do 50 minus 250 times 16. Oh, let's see what that is. Let me move this over here. I have 50 minus 250 times 16. It would be $10. So it would be $10. Then it says if the balance left on the card is $2.50, how many movies did Jackie... Oh, let me go back up here for a second. The other way is I could go in the table where X and Y is by putting this into Y1 and looking to see where X is 16. And then I could find my answer. On this one, it says when the balance is left on the card is $2.50, so you would look and see where Y was $2.50 because Y was the balance. Now I could solve this by hand as well. And let's see if I can move this down here. The way I would do that, I would subtract 50 from each side. And I would get negative 250x equals negative 4750. Then I would divide by negative 250. I would get x equals, well, let's go try this. Let's see here. Oh, right on top of me. There we go. 47. Oh, I guess it's supposed to be negative in it. Negative 4750 divided by negative 250. Enter. So it would be she rented 19 movies. Next. Here's the next one. A student entered scatterplot data and a linear parent function into his calculator. What changes should he make to the slope and the y-intercept to best fit it? All right, well, let's see here. I'm going to get a line here. Well, let's see. If I'm going to bring it up here and draw my line. First off, what did I do? My y-intercept went up, so I increased the y-intercept. I moved it up. Now, and then I had to pull it back down, so I decreased my slope because I made it flatter. I'd make a note here. Made it flatter. 16. Try and answer these questions if you haven't done that already. You'll go up here and do delta y, the change in y right here, plus 2, plus 2. All right, all the way down, these are all plus 2. It's kind of too crunched up for me to write them all. Delta x, plus 1, plus 1. So I have delta y over delta x, 2 over 1. Now what is that? That's 2. What is this called? This is my slope. So my slope is 2. Now, so I did that, so I'm going to erase this up here for a second. Next it says, now I can go ahead and I could build a table if I wanted to and pick the point like 1, negative 2, and put my slope of 2 in there. I took 2 times 1, figured out, like multiplied, and figured out what I had to add or subtract to get to negative 2. But look in here. My y-intercept is right there. Because remember, the y-intercept is 0 and a number, so it's 0, negative 4. My x-intercept is in there too. It has where the y number is 0. 2, 0. To write the equation, remember it's y equals mx plus b. Y equals 2x plus b. B is right here, the y-intercept, minus 4. So now it says, what is the value of y? If the value of y is negative 26, what is the x value? So the y is negative 26. Well, we're going to have to go on the calculator. Go up here and go to y equals and put in there 2x minus 4. Press second graph and look and see where it is negative 26. There it is. It's negative 11. You also can go and do 2x minus 4 equals negative 26 and solve. We would add 4 to each side. I would get 2x equals negative 22. I would divide by 2. X equals negative 11. And there's where our answer is right there. Next, write an equation of a line having a 0 slope. Remember, a 0 slope is a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are y equals. You could put y equals 7. It's going to be y equals any number. There's not an x with it. It's just that number. Then it says, write an equation having a line with no slope. That is a vertical line. Remember, vertical line is like a wall, goes up and down. We can't climb up and down the wall. Well, on this one, it's going to be maybe x equals 7. It's got to be x equals and then the number. Okay, that's what's going to give you a vertical line. There's the next one. It says, write an equation of a line that passes through the point negative 4, 6, and 8, negative 3. You may use a graph or a table, whichever. So you can use a graph if you want to. I'm going to build a table. And I've got negative 4, 6, and 8, negative 3. And I have x and y. So I'm going to do delta y, the change in y, minus 9, delta x, plus 12, delta y over delta x equals negative 9 over 12. If you don't know what that reduces to, you can go into your calculator right here. Let's go into the home screen, put in there, let's clear this out. Let's go negative 9, divide 12, and press math, enter, enter. It will reduce your fraction. We have negative 3/4. Negative 3/4. So I'm going to put in here negative 3/4, and I'm going to take that times negative 4. Multiply these two together. If the fractions frustrate you, put in here negative 3 divide 4, and then in parentheses, put that negative 4 in there, and press enter. It is 3. Okay, so this is 3. What do you have to do to 3 to get to 6? Add 3. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. To check it, you go in the calculator, put in there negative 3/4, 3 divide 4, x plus 3. Now, check and see if those points are in there. Let's go second graph. And negative 4, let's go to negative 4 and 6. Yep, it's in there. Alright, so now I'll go down to 8. 8 and negative 3. Sure enough, I got it right. There's the next one. It says, what is the equation of the line graph below? Okay, my equation, y equals mx plus b. I always start first here in the y-intercept. I would label x, then y. Remember, this is my x-axis and then my y. So I'll put a big dot on the y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 0, 5. This number right here is my slope. My line is decreasing, so I know it's going to be negative. Okay? So now to find it, I'm going to go down 1 and over 1. Nope, not quite on the line. Down 2 and over 1 works. Let's check it again. Down 2 over 1. Yep, down 2 over 1. Okay, so I have 2 over 1. So I have down 2 over 1, negative 2. Remember, it's delta y over delta x. So my equation, y equals negative 2x plus 5. Now, never go on without checking it. So let's go into the calculator right here and put negative 2x plus 5 and plus graph. See if it matches. Oh my, I forgot I had all this other stuff in there. Let me clear my memory here. Alright, so let's try this. Negative 2x plus 5. And I'm going to press graph. Sure enough, it crosses up here. Yep, looks like I'm good. Next. That would be the end.